All right, these are live pictures that we're getting you from on board the INS Vikramaditya. The Prime Minister's chopper has now landed. The Prime Minister will be reviewing the operational preparedness of aircraft on board the INS Vikramaditya, which is India's largest aircraft carrier. Our Deputy Editor Shiv Arur is joining us on the phone line. Shiv, it's a proud moment for the Indian Navy, an acquisition they had been waiting for almost 20 years.
That is correct, Simi. It's a huge day for the Indian Navy. The INS Vikramaditya has been operational for a few months now. It's been a long journey, indescribable really, in terms of the kind of hardships the Indian Navy has actually had to go through to bring this ship home. I was in fact in Russia in November last year when the ship was commissioned into service, and even at that time there was a sense of anxiety in the Indian Navy about how this ship would really perform, not in the freezing, seas of North Russia, but in the, warmer tropical climes of the Indian Ocean. But the ship, I can tell you, Simi, and I've been speaking to, people from the crew and, people in the Indian Navy who are looking at this ship very closely, that it has, come through with flying colors, as it were. It's fully operationally ready right now. Aviation fighter operations, are taking place. It's fully operational in terms of all of its sensors and systems. Of course, it doesn't have air defense weapons because of a series of bureaucratic delays under the earlier government. But there are indications that will be sorted out now. But the day ahead for Narendra Modi, Simi, is a phenomenal one. It's a really exciting one. I attended the earlier Prime Minister's Day at Sea. When Manmohan Singh was the Prime Minister. This was way back in 2006.
Shiv, hold that thought. We're getting live pictures of the Prime Minister landing on board the INS Vikramaditya, being led by naval officers as he reviews the aircraft carrier. This is the Prime Minister's first visit outside Delhi, choosing to travel to Goa and then onto the INS Vikramaditya, which is currently at sea. We're also being joined by our editor-at-large, Rahul Kawal, who's with us on the phone line. He's on board the INS Vikramaditya. Rahul, the symbolism of Narendra Modi choosing to visit an aircraft carrier on his first visit outside Delhi, which is after taking oath on the 26th of May, not lost on anyone. The Prime Minister making it extremely clear that national security is his top priority. All right, we'll try and reconnect with Rahul Kamal there. Shiv Arur, our deputy editor, is with us on the phone line. Shiv, in fact, had travelled to Russia when the ship was commissioned last year by then Defence Minister A.K. Antony. Shiv, politically speaking, also quite significant because this is Modi's first trip outside Delhi after being sworn in.
That's right, Simi. It's no mistake, like you rightly point out. There's no mistaking what the symbolism of his first journey outside Delhi after taking oath really is. National security is his top priority, and these these pictures from the deck of the INS Vikramaditya, don't give you a real sense of how big the ship really is. It's absolutely enormous. 1,600 people, operate on that ship, and that's the number of people you actually need to run, a ship of its size. The INS Vikramaditya is a 44,000-ton aircraft carrier. It's pretty old, but it's been made completely new as a result of a decade-long refurbishment. Now, Narendra Modi we saw those pictures of Narendra Modi landing on the ship in a Sea King helicopter from the INS Hansa Naval Base. He will be inside right now, Simi, as we speak. The Prime Minister will be inside right now, being briefed by the Navy Chief, and there you have it. Those pictures show you the Navy Chief, the Navy's new Western Commander, Vice Admiral Anil Chopra, as well as other senior officers who are with Prime Minister Modi. They will be taking him on a tour of the ship because Narendra Modi, as you know, will want to, have a look at every part of this ship. They'll take him onto the bridge, which is where the, a ship of this size is actually commanded and controlled from. He'll get a full briefing on precisely what he's about to watch. There will be a VIP display, from where Narendra Modi, the other dignitaries, the senior naval officers will be able to sit or stand. I imagine that Narendra Modi will actually stand for this because this is going to be a really dramatic display that's coming up, and most of it will be live here on Headlines today. In this shot, as our camera person just zoomed out on that shot, you got a sense of how large the flight deck of the INS Vikramaditya really is. There you have it. That's Narendra Modi shaking hands with one of the pilots from the INS 303 Black Panther squadron, and that's his MiG-29K. You can see a bit of it there. These are phenomenal aircraft. The kind the Indian Navy has never operated before. These are conventional landing fast jets that give the Navy a huge amount of power projection abilities. And now you have it, in these pictures. Narendra Modi is about to, I think, I don't know if he's going to do it right away, but those ladders are placed for him to actually climb up there, perhaps even sit in the cockpit of that stunning MiG-29K. If you notice, the MiG-29K's, the tips of its wings are folded. That's because all aircraft on naval ships, they have this facility where you can fold the wings, because as you know, the space on every ship is very restricted. So if you fold the wings, you can actually fit many more ships on a deck in that sense. So that's something you'll notice on all maritime aircraft. Now, Narendra Modi is standing right there at the foot of the plane. In just a moment from now, he's being briefed right now by the squadron commander of the Black Panther squadron, the person in the olive green flight suit and the aviator sunglasses. He's going to be he's briefing Modi right now, I imagine, on the aircraft, on the squadron, what these aircraft can actually do, perhaps telling them about about the parameters of the aircraft, how many hours they fly every day, how fast they can fly, how high they can fly, how long they can fly, and what new capabilities they actually give to the Indian Navy. See, he's gesturing with his hand, so he's obviously talking about the abilities and properties of these amazing Russian aircraft. The persons in the white are, of course, the senior naval officers, including the person right next to Narendra Modi. That's Admiral R.K. Dhovan. He is the country's new Chief of Naval Staff. The people standing around them are dignitaries from the Ministry of Defense, as well as senior officials from the Goa administration, who are also accompanying Narendra Modi for this historic visit on board the INS Vikramaditya. The Navy Chief also will be briefing, throughout these discussions today. Simi, it's not going to be just about, the cosmetics. It's not just going to be about looking at the aircraft. There you have it. Narendra Modi is going to be climbing up that ladder now, getting into the cockpit. He's wearing an INS Vikramaditya cap. He's getting up the cockpit. Well, he's wearing a kurta, the normal clothing that he usually wears. It might have been a little more comfortable if he'd actually gotten into a flight suit himself, but obviously that's not going to happen. He's getting up that ladder. Precarious climb, I can tell you. I've climbed into many fighters. It's a precarious climb, so he'll have to be helped in. He'll have to put one foot on the seat and then the other foot down into the cockpit itself, precisely how I'm describing it. Hold on to the rim of that cockpit canopy and then sit in. It's, from these pictures, I can tell our viewers and I can tell you, Simi, that it is not possible to describe how constricted and restricted the space inside a fighter cockpit really is. Once that canopy comes down, it is phenomenally claustrophobic. You've got no space whatsoever to move your head, your hands, your legs. You're in a very constricted space. I wonder if Narendra Modi has ever been in a situation like this before. I'm sure he's been in many tight spots, but this is definitely going to be the tightest one yet. A MiG-29K cockpit, the Russian sensibilities in cockpit and aircraft design mean that, sort of comfort for a pilot is always not always the priority. It's mostly about, being able to fly the plane in a more effective manner, fight the war more effectively. And in that sense, the MiG-29, which is, a legendary aircraft, it comes in from the Cold War era, Simi, is an aircraft that is every pilot's dream to fly, really. It can fly supersonic. It can, conduct short takeoffs. It's extremely agile and nimble in the air. Now, one never knows if the Air Force or the Navy,
right,
are planning to actually fly Narendra Modi in one of these aircraft, but conceivably so, because we have seen other leaders fly in these aircraft before,
right,
taken on rides. But there you have it, Simi. Narendra Modi is sitting inside a MiG-29K.
Shiv, thanks so much for that comprehensive coverage. We'll keep coming back to you for more. Just the sight of the Prime Minister sitting in the cockpit of the MiG-29K, the image sends out a clear signal of power, and control shows who's in the driver's seat. We'll continue tracking developments on this big story. Do stay with us.